Hello everyone, welcome to the Joget DS Application Development Series webinar. My name is Penny and I'm the moderator for today's session. In this webinar, we will be featuring Joget Partner, Mokxa Technologies along with the customer, Generali Real Estate, where we will be showing how you can supercharge your business performance by maximizing supply chain excellence with a no-code, low-code e-procurement solution. Before we dive in, let's go over some housekeeping items. First of all, today's session will be recorded, and if you miss out any of our sessions today, no worries as you will have the access to the recording later. Moving on, if you have any questions in between the session, do not hesitate to reach out to us via the chat or the Q&A button in the Zoom control panel. We will get to it as many as we can at the end of the webinar. You will also be directed to a feedback form after today's session. And as always, we are happy to hear about your webinar experience. Your opinions matter to us, and we really appreciate it if you could take a moment and provide your feedback for an improved webinar to attend in the future. Last but not least, we will be giving out 2 Joget Academy vouchers today at the end of the webinar. So stay till the end with us, and who knows, you might be one of the 2 lucky winners. Moving on to the next slide. Today, we have the pleasure to invite our partner, Mokxa Technologies, and the customer, Generali Real Estate, to share how an e-procurement solution built on Joget can significantly improve vendor relationship management and how businesses can effectively streamline and enhance their supply chain management with no-code, low-code. Christoph, who is the IT manager at Generali Real Estate, will be sharing his customer journey with Mokxa and Joget. He was paid along with PSB, the head of operations at Mokxa, and Akila, the programmer analyst at Mokxa, who will walk us through the typical supply chain challenges and the e-procurement showcase. Adrian, who is the customer and partnership services manager at Joget, will be sharing how we can get started on the Joget platform. Having said that, Christoph, would you like to say hi to the audience?
Hi everyone, thank you Penny. Hi everyone, very happy to be here with you and happy foremost to share with you my insights. Over to you, PSB.
Hello and welcome everyone. We are very excited to have you all here. Thank you for joining. Akila, over to you.
Hello everyone, excited to have you all in this webinar. Can't wait to showcase what we have done. Over to you, Adrian.
Hi all, Adrian here. Welcome to the webinar and thank you all for joining. Back to you, Penny.
Thank you. With that, let's have a look on today's agenda. To start with, we will first have a quick introduction of Mokxa Technologies before we move on to talk about the typical supply chain pain points and a live e-procurement showcase to walk you through the various capabilities that you can leverage on for your onboarding and supply chain management. Subsequently, we will have a customer journey session where Christoph will be sharing why he chose Mokxa and Joget and adopt a no-code, low-code in their digital transformation journey. Last but not least, we will walk you through how you can get started on the Joget platform. Without further ado, I will now pass it over to PSB to kickstart the webinar. PSB, over to you.
Hello all again. We will be going over the e-procurement aspect of the supply chain optimization today. Before that, please allow me to introduce ourselves. We are Mokxa Technologies. We are a global solutions provider just based out of Columbia, Maryland, just outside of Washington, DC. True to our name, our passion is in providing peace of mind to our client through simplification of technology while solving business problems. We deliver fully integrated, innovative business solutions. Some, with being a premier partner of Joget and the most experienced Joget solution provider worldwide. In addition to that, we provide business solutions and products and services across a variety of domains. And we differentiate ourselves through our passion and hybrid thinking, which is bringing the human aspects of providing the solutions in addition to the technology. So specifically about optimizing the supply chain itself, through the hundreds of projects that we have delivered, we have helped various businesses automate and solve their supply chain optimization problems, both with Joget-based and other integrated solutions. Today, we would like to focus our webinar on one aspect of the supply chain, which is sourcing and procurement, which is so critical in providing supply chain efficiencies. Specifically, we will be showcasing our e-procurement framework, which has helped a number of our clients optimize and streamline their vendor onboarding, bid launch, bid management, bid selection criteria, and the overall vendor selection process for their supply chain problems. With the open architecture, versatility, and integration power of the underlying Joget platform, we have built all sorts of supply chain solutions using various technologies such as AI, blockchain, IoT, geopositioning, and integration with all sorts of ERPs. So let's talk about a role of procurement in the overall supply chain. Most of us realize the importance of procurement in the overall supply chain. Various analysts corroborate that. Deloitte says effective procurement can reduce the overall supply chain cost by 18%. According to Gartner, on an average, 70% of company spend happens through the procurement process. So procurement is an essential part of your entire supply chain, and you cannot afford inefficient or suboptimal procurement process. When your competition is using digital transformation tools to optimize this, your archaic procurement processes will leave you strategically disadvantaged and competitively sidelined. Yet, according to Gartner, more than 50% of enterprises do not have a plan in place for supply chain transformation or even for improving their e-procurement as such. So how are some of the most successful CPOs are setting their organizations apart from their competition? They are creating tools that can help bring in, measure, monitor, and help improve cost optimization, vendor management, and bid management. In a dynamically changing world, while you need to standardize and optimize this, they cannot be static. You need the flexibility with these tools to adapt to the changing dynamics. That's where a custom or your business specific solution, but which is easily configurable, that's why we call it as a procurement framework, makes a lot of difference. So now coming specifically to what we are talking about, which is the Mokxa e-procurement framework. So powered by the low-code leader, the Joget platform, the e-procurement framework is highly configurable for your business. It can easily integrate with any of your ERPs or any other technologies that you may be adopting, and other enterprise applications that you may already have, and help you track and monitor and execute the KPIs, metrics, and processes that are singularly important for your business. So through the ready tools built to specifically cover some of the key aspects that we touched upon earlier, such as cost optimization, vendor management, bid management, this platform provides the base on which you can extend your procurement needs and configure to suit your business needs. So this is exactly what we are going to be showcasing today. I will pass it over to Penny, and then after that, we'll go through the procurement framework itself. Over to you, Penny. Thank you.
Thank you, PSD. So before we move on with the product showcase, let's have a quick poll. So let me launch the poll. And here we go. Yep. So which aspect of the e-procurement framework do you think holds the greatest potential in implementing to enhance the value of your company's supply chain? And we have 3 answers available on screen. So please go ahead and choose your answer, and we will share the results in a short while. We can see that the number is moving. A lot of attendees is voting, taking their own votes, and it is still moving. So let's wait for a little bit more. All right. All right, let's end the poll. So let's end it. And let's take a look at the result. Okay, yep. So we have 63% of the attendees here voted for the first option, which is the cost optimization. And 26% of the attendees today has voted for vendor management. And another 11% voted for spend management. So I believe this will give a little bit of insights into the subsequent e-procurement showcase that Akila will be showing us. And with that, I will now pass it to her to walk us through. Akila, over to you.
Thank you, Penny. So we will be showcasing 2 process flows in our e-procurement framework, vendor registration and bid management. So registration of new vendor. This has an interaction between the procurement and vendors in terms of creating a new vendor. Then vendors will have an ability to complete their profile and upload documents. Finally, vendor evaluation and approval. Each company might have its own requirement as to how they go about evaluating or certifying the vendor. As we will see in the Generali's case, their supplier certification was crucial. Bid management. So one of the key aspects of managing quality products and services is bid management. So in this demo, I will showcase one way of creation of new bids, select vendors based on their performance and getting approvals from different departments, then launch bids and send out to the selected vendors. Finally, evaluate bids and shortlist vendors. Each company might have its own requirement as to how they go about evaluating and shortlisting the vendor, which can be easily configured. Now, let us go ahead and see the app. Penny, are you able to see my screen?
Yep, crystal clear.
Thank you. I'm logging in as a procurement person. So the other roles would be a vendor who will be submitting the bids, individual business departments in the organization that request the bids to be created, and of course the finance and technical teams who are instrumental in evaluating the bids. So each role will have its own role-specific dashboard showing metrics that are relevant for them. So once logged in, the procurement will be redirected to the dashboard where they can see the overview of active vendors, statuses of the bids, vendors by performance, and so on. So each of the tiles here is clickable to drill into the details. For example, when I click the active vendor info tile, it redirects me to the list of active vendors where we see the approved vendors with their performance and their previous bids. So one of the biggest opportunity is ability to identify areas for cost optimization. So we have the spend analysis tab where we can easily track the spend based on category, budget versus spend, and so on. You could always configure this based on priorities in your organization. So this is the vendor onboarding as we previously described. Here we also see the list of all the registered vendors. Now we see the bid management process. This is a sample bid creation form where we give the project details, bill of quantities, evaluation criteria, and so on. I will now quickly fill out this form. Again, all of these are configurable, and this is a sample bid creation form.
So, Attila, while you are filling up this form, can you show us a little bit more about the validation or the mandatory field?
Sure, Penny. So we have all kind of validations like having mandatory validations, or a few things like add up to 100. So let me just remove these two numbers, so the project location and industry rating, and let's try to submit it. So here, as we see, we are getting validation addressing missing required value. And here we are also saying enter a valid number, and the total should add up to 100. So yeah, so there are all types of validations that could be incorporated, like having alphanumeric only, or checking for duplications, database calls to validate certain fields, or we can also go up to even making external API calls. So these are some of the validations that can be done. So I go ahead and submit the bid creation form. So once the bid is created, it will be verified by the manager, where we select the vendors to be invited for bidding. So let's click on bid verification. So we have incorporated the list of vendors based on the highest rating and list of their previous biddings. This reduces the time taken to find relevant vendors, eliminating the incompetent vendors and a better supply chain. So let me click all of the vendors here, submit it, and let's approve it. So once submitted, it goes for the business and finance for a final approval before the bid is launched. So I have went ahead and completed the sample bid, which is now ready for launch. So this bid has been previously approved by business and the finance. So here we see all the details, and we go ahead and launch the bid. So now once the bid is launched, it goes to all the selected vendors for submission of bids. So let's log out and log in as one of the vendors. Now I log in as one of the vendors. So as a vendor, I can view the details of the bid. And I can confirm the bid and confirm my participation. First, and then when my bid is ready, I can submit my bid. And let's go ahead and confirm and submit the bid. This is the confirmation. So I complete it and I submit. So now the vendor has successfully submitted the bid. So once all the vendors have submitted their bids, now the finance and technical will evaluate and give scores. So let me log in as finance. So now I logged in as finance user to give scores for each submitted bid. So as you can see, each user has their own role-specific dashboard. So here I go ahead and give the finance scores. So if these scores surpass the minimum qualifying criteria, which is defined during the bid creation, it will move to the shortlisting. Similarly, a technical user will give technical scores. So I log out and log in as technical. So once the finance and technical teams give their scores for all the vendors, it will be ready for shortlisting for all the procurement, for the procurement user. So let me log in back as procurement. So here I have a sample bid, which is ready for shortlisting. Here I can see 2 vendors have been submitted, and we can see the total net amount and their finance scores and technical scores. So based on the best bid, we go ahead and shortlist the vendor. We also have the ability to shortlist based on each line item or have negotiation and so on. So all of those features are currently hidden for the demo. So we go ahead and shortlist the vendor. So let's say we negotiated up to 15,000 and complete. So this way we can effectively manage the entire bidding or RFP process, taken into account the vendor's past performance, optimize the cost by an effective bidding and scoring process, reduce risks to the company, and make sure you have a consistent and compliance vendor selection process, maximizing the efficiency and quality in the procurement process aspect of your supply chain. So as with all the Joget apps, this app is completely responsive and it renders well on all types of devices. So let's see how it looks on iPad Air. So this is how it would look on iPad Air. And yeah, so this way, the app is accessible for all the users directly on their phones and tablets who are on the go. It is also PWA compliant. That is, you can download it as an icon on your mobile. This way, we can have a consistent workflow which helps in avoiding loss of time, money, or even missed business opportunities. So that ends my presentation. Over to you, Penny. Thank you.
Thank you, Akila. So before we move on to the customer journey session, let's have another poll. So let me launch the poll. So the question of the poll is to learn more about how the e-procurement framework can be configured based on your existing ERP systems and company-specific needs. And we have 3 options available here on screen for the audience to vote. So please go ahead and choose your answer. If you would like to explore more about the e-procurement framework through a very personalized demo, then please go ahead and vote for the first option. And if you would like to check it out at a later date, then go ahead and choose the second option. And if you do not have any plans at the moment, no worries, go ahead and choose the third option. Let's wait for a bit more. And here we go. I'll end the poll. Alright, so with that, without further ado, let's move on to our subsequent customer journey session, where Christoph will be sharing his success stories along the way with Mokxa and Joget. PSB and Christoph, over to you guys.
Thank you, Penny. Hello, Christoph. Thank you for joining the webinar today, and thank you for your business. And we also thank you for the opportunity that you gave us to help you with the your supply chain issues, specifically around supply certifications, etc. And just to start it off, Christoph, and I would like for the audience benefit, if you can share the context in which you had to quickly implement something, especially around supplier certifications. That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, PSB. Yes, actually, for us, the supplier data security is a critical aspect of the supplier data certification. In particular, checking and confirming the supplier bank account details is actually a very important aspect of the fraud prevention. And we wanted to conduct this in various contexts, not only when we were onboarding a new supplier, but also after, when, for example, when we onboard a new supplier, we need to ensure the bank details, the bank account details are really valid, and they won't at some point mislead our payment to a wrong bank account. So we had to implement some verification steps toward the bank account details. And then after that, once we have onboarded the supplier, we also had to ensure that in case of changes happening around this bank account details, we are able to again check and ensure that no one is trying to integrate wrong data in our system. So we had to implement some validation steps to ensure that payments are made correctly and to prevent fraudulent activity, actually.
Thank you, Christoph. I remember, when you had such a huge pressure, and it was an important, both the compliance as well as risk avoidance issue for you. And I know you were in a hurry, and probably it's a very moot question, but I would like to, for the sake of the audience, it may be a good idea to share how you chose a low-code solution for this aspect.
Yeah. As you mentioned, PSB, we were under pressure at that moment because we understood from the news that some of the largest companies were exposed to some fraudulent activity. We all know about, the president fraud, trying to get a payment down toward a fraudulent bank account. And then we had to react very fast. And in that purpose, we were looking for a solution offering a fast time to market, with at the same time lower cost, development cost. I will explain why. Because in our industry, we are facing an issue with the lack of development skill. And we were looking after a solution enabling us to implement something very easily, very quickly, to fix this particular pain point, this particular issue I was mentioning just before. And to do so, we were looking for something enabling us to implement something fast at a lower cost without requiring that much of development skill. Also enabling easy collaboration, high flexibility, a kind of agile system which enable us also to adapt very quickly upon the changes happening. So that's why, and also another point, also enabling us to implement a governance and compliance model. And then we identified on the market Joget as being the perfect tool, kind of Swiss knife tool, enabling us to address all these requirements and to implement even faster and to even more leverage on this tool, on the capabilities of this tool. We had the chance to collaborate with Mokxa to leverage on its expertise of Joget. And thanks to Joget and the couple made by Joget and Mokxa, we were able to deliver just exactly on time without any delay all the expectations raised by the management.
Thank you, Christophe, for those kind words. I know, Generali being one of the top 10 insurers in the world, things in general, do not move that fast. But specifically on this one, kudos to the quick action, overall, but specifically how you and your team articulated, what was required was very very critical for a quick delivery. Specifically, I think one of the key points that you highlighted, using Joget, you could quickly, without having to train a lot of people or find new people or something like that, you were able to quickly have this in place in a matter of weeks. We are really proud to have helped you over there. Coming over to after the implementation, I'm interested in how the stakeholders that use this platform are currently feeling about it, and how is it going for you?
Well, actually, most of the time, the stakeholders and I would say the executive, the management, they come to us, meaning the IT function, when they have something, when they suffer about something, and their feeling now is that I just rephrase. They just say we are able to create solutions that really fit to our requirement today, to our requirements. And ice on the cake, those solutions are made, and this is really what they say, those solutions are made 10 times faster than what we were used to. Because before, for a project like the one we implemented together, it would have taken almost 1 year or so to implement something we have implemented within almost 1 month. I think we completed all the implementation. So it's just amazing. It's a real game changer, and it also enables the management to think about some other projects which wouldn't have been even considered due to this capability of implementing something very quick. Just you have the idea and you implement, because you can take advantage of a tool, a very versatile tool, and plus you also leverage on the expertise of Mokxa, who is really the best for me, who makes really the difference. So it's not 10 times faster for me, it's 100 times faster, because it's not a question of involving some internal skills to develop on top of Joget. No, we have the idea, we know where we want to go, and then we pass the ball to Mokxa to develop the tool we would like to have implemented.
Thank you, Christophe, and thank you so much for those kind words. And I think you made a very good point. That would have been my next question, which is kind of once you see some of these successes, there are other opportunities that you uncover, as to what else can be done, and then these as opposed to a lot of the other platforms, where you may have to change your process to adopt to those tools. This kind of provides the configurability that you can make this work specifically for you, even though it is just configurable and with not much code at all. I think as a last question, I would just request you to kind of talk about your broader adoption and kind of journey towards low-code platforms and kind of an expansion of these configurable procurement processes, etc.
Okay, what we would like to implement within our organization is a kind of, as we mentioned, a framework based on first, really map our processes first, based on what from a bottom-up approach, hearing the words from the people, expressing their pain points and so on, identifying what are the most important or most critical processes we need to, because for me it's something related to the process automation, So identifying those, then setting the clear goals toward these processes in terms of metrics related to efficiency, cost reduction, customer satisfaction, and then identifying the priority to put on this on the use cases, identifying which will have the biggest impact on the organization. To support all this, build a cross-functional team, not only with IT, but with all the different involved functions. And of course, choose the right tool, but we have already made this choice. And at the end, focus on the user experience and get ready for the scalability.
Thank you so much, Christophe. And you have been a fabulous customer. We always keep telling our customers that just to not expect a low-code or configurable solution to just solve your problems. I think very important is the articulation of the requirement, or kind of imagining your requirements ahead of time, so that you can make the best use of the low-code platform, because you have the tools to quickly prototype and see ahead of time. So you make use of those to kind of get to the solution very quickly. And I think you have been a a real example customer, if we have to say, how to best leverage the tool. Thank you so much. Thank you for the business, and thank you for talking to us today on this webinar.
Thank you, PSB. My pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Okay. So as we move on, just to kind of summarize, we have solved these supply chain problems and optimization issues across the various domains. And feel free to contact us for any specific needs, or if you need a detailed demo of this, or even like a free estimate on your specific business cases, etc. Thank you. I'll pass it on to you, Penny.
Thank you very much, Christoph and PSB. That gave a really insightful look into how the no-code, low-code has benefited Generali Real Estate and foster fusion team collaboration. It's great to hear about the positive impact it has had on your vendor management and process efficiency. So thank you once again to Christoph for sharing your experience with us. And we hope this session has been informative and helpful to all of our attendees here today. With that, I believe the audience is now getting very curious about how they can get started on Joget. And I would like to hand the floor over to Adrian, who will provide us with a walkthrough on the steps to get started. Adrian, over to you.
Thank you, Benny. Right. So let's begin. First off, I'll be showing you how you, the viewers, can get started using Joget to create your own solution. Right. So first off, head over to the URL www.joget.org, and once the page loads, you'll see a big green button that says Get Started for free. Right. Once you click on it, you'll be directed to a page where you can choose the type of deployment that you wish Joget DX to run on. You can run it on demand, download it on premise, install it on premise, or you can even run Joget on other deployment options. So if you're wondering what Joget can run on, in terms of infrastructure, Joget DX is platform agnostic. So it can run on Windows or Linux, and it runs on various application servers such as Tomcat, JBoss, WebSphere, just to name a few. And it also supports various databases such as MySQL, Oracle, as well as Microsoft SQL. You can also deploy Joget DX on cloud platform services such as Red Hat OpenShift, Azure, and AWS, just to name a few. So whatever you choose, there'll be steps made available on how to install or deploy Joget on your preferred deployment option. So I'm just going to share with you some customer stories that we would like, if you'd like to hear about. So some of it, we have the first one, NFPC, National Food Products Company, one of the premier F&B companies, where with the help of Mokxa as an implementation partner, they built a Joget application with AI integration. The AI-powered app, AI Proof of Delivery Automation app, enables NFPC to have high processing load to process up to 5,000 delivery notes daily. Next, we have PT Komatsu Marketing Support, where they were able to save approximately 450,000 total of savings of assets and replenish their stocks on time. Another highlight is Hume Cement was able to reduce their workflow turnaround time, which was reported around 2 weeks to 1 month, and to a record-breaking of 3 days. And we have Allied Benefit Systems, a national healthcare solution system where Mokxa built a customer onboarding system that was built within 3 months that helped automate over 10 business processes. And Allied Benefit reported that they were able to successfully onboard 2,000 companies within 6 weeks. So these are some customer stories to showcase how Joget was able to help them improve their businesses. We do have more. If you're interested, you can search on our website and download several case studies from other industries like telecommunication, manufacturing, governance sector, and so much more. Right. We are currently on our 7th version of Joget, and we are rapidly moving for the next major release of Joget DX8. Based on the feedback we receive from our partners and customers, the core focus for Joget DX8 will be on the enhanced user experience and governance. Our goal is we want to make the platform more accessible to more users of diverse competencies and backgrounds. So what's new in Joget DX8? That's quite a lot, actually. So what you see here is a condensed version of some of the key features. To mention a few here, we've redesigned our App Center with a neat feature where you can rapidly kickstart app development based on pre-existing solutions. We've also updated our visual builder as well to be more intuitive with the added ability to switch to different device views from desktop, tablet, and mobile. So the default themes available in DX8 have already made your apps responsive, so you don't have to go develop your app again to cater for different devices. Let's see what else. Enhanced user experience with background menu loading. In complex enterprise app designs, having a large data set generates while loading the user interface a common performance bottleneck. In addition to the caching option, DX8 now automatically generates and updates the user interface in the background, thus greatly improve the end user experience. We also have health check reports and alerts. This provides some sort of automated governance health check that aid in the compliance in critical enterprise areas such as security, performance, and application quality. Right. Then we have personalized list views. This allows end users to personalize their lists to directly according to their individual preference, whether by rearranging columns or determining which columns to display. We also have a new feature whereby you can, instead of writing SQL scripts, you can visually configure the database connections and perform queries without coding. So if you're curious and would like to take a peek, head over to this link to try out the DX8 release candidate version and have a look at the new features available in DX8. Oh, just as a reminder, this is a release candidate version, so expect to see a few bugs here and there as the development team are still working things out. And that is all for my presentation. Back to you, Penny.
Thank you, Adrian. With that, I believe the audience now has a better understanding of the Joget platform and the no-code, low-code e-procurement solution. So let's move on to the Q&A session and see what are the questions that the audience has for us. We got lots of good questions coming in, and let's see. So the first question is, let me bring up the first question. Right, so the first question is, may I know what is the unique selling point of this tool in comparison with the other readily available tools in the market? I definitely, that one point would be the drag and drop low code functionality and time saving. So what are those features which stands out? So this is the first question that we did. Let's hear from our panelists and see if they have any thoughts on this.
Thank you, Penny. Thanks for the question. I think that's a great question. The two things that I would probably point out, one is obviously how configurable and how specific it can be for your requirement, as opposed to like a lot of the market available platforms, which may be too rigid in terms of what you can put there. So while you can customize your business solutions, you are not really adding code or kind of losing upgradability and those kind of stuff. That would be a major differentiator. And the second is this would be very light and specific for your business, as opposed to probably buying a lot of things, that you do not require, and probably both paying for those licenses as well as making that a very heavy installation and run into upgrade problems.
All right. Thank you, PSD. So let's look into the second question. All features that were showcased earlier are all built on Joget? Well, that's a trick question. PSD, what do you think?
Yes, I think, especially for this platform that we showcase today, they are built purely, completely, I can say, by a citizen developer, not really requiring any type of coding. It's all built on Joget.
All right, cool. So the third question, can we send bid to unregistered suppliers? Can we?
Yeah, I think as I said, this is completely configurable. I think what we showcased is has a need or no has a need for the supplier to be registered, and even had that performance indicators to kind of guide which ones should get the bid. But that is totally up to you for you to configure, and you can even as a first step, like when you are sending, you could have them register themselves as well. So that's completely configurable.
Okay, right. So the fourth question, is there a way to see the historical price during the negotiation process?
Absolutely. I think, the all of the previous bids, or even if you have some kind of a project repository of previous bids and costs of those projects, you can make it completely intelligent, and you can go all the way to like introducing a certain kind of process intelligence as well as AI if you require to get prior experience or pricing information, or any type of information, both internally as well as from external sources, if you require.
Okay. So the next question, what skill sets are needed to build such application? Would it be in-house or Joget?
Yeah, so I think that's a very valid question. Joget is a completely enabled for citizen development, which means you do not require any prior technical knowledge. So, so having said that, typically what we see in enterprises where you may have a lot of integrations and specific legacy applications and ERPs that you need to integrate, etc. And if you have any quirky needs, where using the open architecture of Joget, you needed to develop a new plugin that is very specific for your company, etc. It may be a good idea to have, say, one developer out of five, slightly more technical, who can take care of such needs. Otherwise, it is completely enabled for citizen developers.
Yeah, I'd like to add that even here in Joget, we do provide, we have some sort of academy where you can have self-hosted videos. You can learn on your own on how to create your own apps as well. I think that might help in terms of the citizen developer to kickstart their journey to develop their own apps.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, PSD. Thank you, Adrian. So the next question, I would like to see the various configurations available in the e-procurement tool and how we can configure this app to suit our needs. So just now, PSD, you said this is actually more on that it is customizable. We can actually custom design to suit any type of business requirements. So how how will it change when it comes to do you like to see the various different setups, settings available in the tool itself?
Absolutely. I think it's a detailed question. Many of our customers usually go through a little bit of an assessment just to kind of what is required for their specific business case and how they are organized, how they engage with vendors, etc. I would say please get in touch with us. We can provide those very specific details, and number of our customers and almost on every new engagement, we do this.
Okay. So the next question, can Joget-based application be published at, say, Apple App Store or Play Store for the user to access? PSB and Adrian, what do you think?
Sure. I think Akhila already mentioned that one, you can it's PWA enabled, and at the same time there is you can either launch your own apps. We provide that base code, because there is a Joget app that is published on the on both the app stores, which can be configured for your business or the application. And the second option is you can completely launch a branded application for your needs, and we provide that base code as well.
Okay, all right. Due to time is of essence, let's take a few more questions and then we will walk through on the closing. So let's take a look at the next question. One major element of today's process improvement is the capability to extract data from documents. So how can this be done and be achieved with Joget?
Sure. Number of our clients have, we have helped a number of our clients, solve this. There are multiple ways, like Joget is completely extendable. You could always extend the Joget platform itself with various OCR and other extraction libraries, that are available. And the other option is, you could always just integrate with your OCR and machine learning and other models, that you may have in the organization. So it has been implemented in any which way. So that way it is very flexible to integrate with any type of document extraction, email parsing, all those kind of technologies.
All right. So the next two questions. The first one is, can you let us know the pricing model for this e-procurement tool? And the second one is, does Mokxa has any presence in Malaysia?
Absolutely. We can, I think definitely it would be best to kind of get in touch with us, for the pricing, the info at moksha.com that we shared. You can use that to contact us for the pricing for your situation. And as far as, we do have, along with Joget, we do have Malaysian customers, and if there are specific areas that you want more information on, we can definitely get in touch with you.
All right. Thank you, PSB. So it seems that we have now come to the end of the webinar. So before we go, feel free to check out the Joget ecosystem, where we'll have plenty of step-by-step tutorial on the Joget knowledge base. And you can also enroll in our Joget Academy short courses and watch the Joget DS video tutorials to learn more about the platform. Feel free to download the ready-made apps and plugins from the Joget marketplace to use it as it is, or customize it to suit your business needs. And with that, let's see who are the two lucky winners of the Joget Academy vouchers? Let's see. All right. Congratulations to Mukesh. Congratulations. Another winner goes to, let's see. Hang on for a few seconds. Alright, so the other winner goes to Charity Bits. Congratulations. We will reach out to the winners via email and get those vouchers to you guys. So please keep an eye on your inbox, and if you don't see anything there, don't forget to check your spam folder. And we have come to the end of the session. Once again, thank you, Christoph, PSB, Attila, and Adrian for bringing us a very insightful session today, as well as the attendees here for joining the session and the end with us. Don't forget to fill up the feedback form directed to you after the session, and we will see you again in the next webinar. Thank you everyone and have a nice day.